Hi, I'm Elise Gadamer, and I am from New York.
I am Case for Duty, and I am from Scottsdale, Arizona.
Hi, I'm Calvin Emanuel, and I'm a member of ASU Family. I'm a parent that volunteers time to support ASU Family.
Hello, Stephanie Salazar. I serve as the Executive Director of Off-Campus Relations.
My name is Troy Lee Campbell, and I serve as the Associate Director for Off-Campus Relations.
Off-Campus Relations provides services and resources to students who are transitioning from on-campus housing to off-campus housing.
I have two varied experiences with my sons with their off-campus housing. My older son is a quieter person, and he wanted very quiet housing, and so he transitioned to a studio apartment near campus. So he had access to friends and access to his job and campus, but he liked quiet. So he enjoyed it, and he was in his apartment for 3 years. So that transition went smoothly.
Transitioning from on campus to off campus, it was, I'd say overall it was a good experience for us. There were some bumps along the way, but lots of learnings. For us, it started off with us thinking about saying, look, is this going to be driven by a budget? Is it going to be driven by closeness to campus? And agreeing on a few fundamentals. And I think from there, it really made the process for us a lot easier of having him transition from on campus to off campus.
Among the most memorable transition challenges were, number one, transportation, where once it was biking and walking, all of a sudden they had, without a vehicle, she needed to learn how to use other forms of transportation. When you're interviewing with potential roommates, the things that you don't think about are things like kitchen and cleanliness. Stuff like that seemed to emerge as an issue. But more importantly was the friends coming over and how long they stayed. And mostly when it came to romantic partnerships. When you're sharing an apartment or a home with 2, 3, 4 people, and all of a sudden another person gets introduced, and then there's often the debatable, wait a minute, how come they're here and they're not paying rent, and it's the hours and the days and the time, and hey, they took my creamer. It's those conversations that usually turn into the big issues.
It did come down to tough discussions when we were saying, look, there were trade-offs because, I said, look, we have a budgetary option here, and he wanted an apartment with more amenities. And so the apartments that had the more amenities were at a different price point. So then you had to start trading off whether you want more amenities or location. But it really just got to a point of saying, look, we've got to holistically look what's the best choice overall for our family. And for our son, because he was going to be living there for the next 9 months.
When my husband and I were addressing our sons moving off campus, we had the emotional aspect, the speaking to them, wanting them to find a place they're comfortable in, and wanting them to be happy, of course, while giving them their freedom of choice to some extent. You have to keep your eyes and ears open too, and they're going to make mistakes. As a parent, you're going to make mistakes, but you walk the walk with your student.
It really came down to us making sure we were helping our son think about ramifications from choices. So, you're now signing up for a 9-month lease. What does that mean? Do you need housing in the summer? Are you coming home? Will you do a study abroad program? What happens if you don't like your roommate? How are you going to work this out? Are you going to have a roommate? And so a lot of that really came down to helping them think through the choices and what that meant for that 9-month period to come.
So every semester in fall and spring, we have our off-campus housing fair. In March and November, this is a fair-like carnival-style on-campus event, as well as virtual, where our apartment managers and leasing managers come out to really showcase their community. Sometimes they have a fair carnival-like style where they play interactive games, the opportunity and chance to have some kickbacks when it comes to signing that lease. Maybe some of your fees are waived.
But really, it's a good opportunity to have everyone, all of the communities at once on campus, to ask the questions, see what their availability is, and really just start the conversation because again, early is better.
So I definitely think it's important for students who are looking to reside off campus to come out to the fair, have that one-on-one dialogue with the apartment community, and learn firsthand what they have to offer.
Number one, you know your student, you know your child. So you know the areas that might need to be bolstered or encouraged or educated. So work with them on this. Number two, this is something they're going to be involved in anyway, even if it's post-college. So you might as well jump in and make it happen now. Third, and most importantly, you've got to do this early, especially in the market for rentals that it is right now. When kids have I really want to do this, great, start planning for the future. If it's January or February, start planning for August.
So your student is going to get the best information word of mouth. Students who have gone before them, they're going to hear things, and you have to just trust the process, stay involved, keep your ears open, and it will work out.
The best ways families can support students going through this experience is joining them on those tours, asking the hard questions of how close do you want to be from campus, how far do you want to be away from campus, what amenities are you looking for. Also start talking about what roommates, if you have roommates, starting those conversations with their families as well, and really getting all of the roommates in the same room to talk about what they're looking for in their next place to live. I think the first step is to really look at the websites of the different properties, scheduling a tour. Because you can look at websites all day long, but once you get on property to look at a tour, there are some great options of virtual tours, but really being on site, seeing the amenities in real life, seeing the apartments in real life, seeing the tour rooms, will really give you an opportunity to see, is this home for you?
Also be aware of our off-campus housing page. There has information relative to our housing fair date and times, also a housing guide that provides information relative to off-campus living, making you aware of any city codes as well as state laws. We also have our online housing platform that will provide you with the opportunity to search and navigate off-campus housing resources, not specific to apartment, but maybe a house for rent. It also does secured online roommate matching. Those are just some of the options that I would suggest.